Hey there, YouTube. I've got a package here from the Knife Center. I'm going to open this up with the Spyderco Native 5 Salt with a MagnaCut blade. Um, and this shipment includes a work sharp sort of keychain knife maintenance tool, which Knife Center was throwing in as a promo on recent purchases. I bought this new Spyderco during Spyderco's sale for Father's Day. I am a father. I guess this is a present to myself for Father's Day. I expect I'll also receive something from my son, but not this. This is the Spyderco Military 2 in CPM CruWear with Micarta handle scales. Let's open it up and have a look. Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. Spyderco CPM CruWear. And that's a nice sort of natural color of micarta. And this knife has full liners, which the standard version of the Military 2 and the Military do not. They have little insert liners. This is exciting. I like CruWear. CruWear is very tough steel with a good edge retention. It's not technically stainless, but it doesn't stain easily. One of the most popular knife models in CruWear is the Adamas from Benchmade. This knife, the original Adamas, was in D2, and I think CruWear is a very appropriate steel, consistent with the mission of this knife, which is sort of very heavy use, tactical or military applications. I, of course, am not a tactical person. I am just a knife collector. But I think CruWear is a steel that will manage some abuse. And so it makes sense that big knives like this Military and the Adamas feature CruWear. The Mini Adamas also has a CruWear blade. Maybe a little bit less appropriate to that model. I mean, it's still a fine choice for steel, but you're less likely to put this knife to really hard use than its bigger brother, I would expect. Spyderco, of course, has been in the CruWear game for a little while. Spyderco had, previous to this, the PM2, the Paramilitary 2, offered in the same configuration with a micarta handle scales, full liners, and a CPM CruWear blade. In recent days, the Military 2 model has become available, as well as the Para 3 in CruWear. Spyderco, of course, has also produced a number of exclusives in CruWear, including several exclusive models from the Knife Center, and also a little native in CruWear from the Knife Joker. And the Military is, of course, a very venerable knife model from Spyderco. It's the platform on which the whole military series was based. I've got a very old one here. This is probably from the mid 1990s. The action on it could use some improvement. But this is a liner lock. The original design of the military was a liner lock. This one is fully serrated, and it's in an interesting steel as well, CPM 440V. And yeah, it does have a broken tip. I'm going to take this to Spyderco next time I'm in Golden, Colorado, and have them sharpen and retip it for me. Serrations are in okay shape. So otherwise it's still a pretty decent knife. It is sad to see that busted tip, but that got me a very good price on the knife. So sort of mixed. I have mixed feelings about the chip. I probably wouldn't have this knife if it didn't have a chip or broken tip. 440V was one of the original particle metallurgy steels. Sort of common wisdom is that S30V was the first steel, powder metallurgy steel developed specifically for knives. But before S30V, there were a few other things on the market. In Japan, they had super gold steel, which was a powder metallurgy steel with a very sort of similar formulation to S30V. And they had S60V, which is a little bit, the history of it is a little bit opaque, but S60V is synonymous with 440V. It's the same thing as 440V. It was developed by Crucible, and it was basically the same formulation as 440C with increased vanadium and carbon and the powder metallurgy process, right? I mean, vanadium carbides are very hard. They're going to, provide some excellent performance in a steel, except that if you do traditional ingot forming and you do make a steel with vanadium, you're going to end up with really large carbides, and then you're going to have a brittle blade, or a blade that's very susceptible to chipping. But the particle metallurgy process gives you small carbides of vanadium, and so you're able to have some toughness. I mean, it's not super tough steel, but it's a lot tougher than it would be if you had that same chemical formulation without the particle metallurgy process, if you're doing a traditional ingot formed steel. No Spyderco logo on this knife. That is correct. That's the way that they were making them at the time. And they did have this word military printed on the blade. So this is kind of a very old school model of the military. The one that you're more likely to be familiar with is this guy in CPM S30V, which is again a liner lock with partial liners. They're inset liners. Single position pocket clip for tip down carry, right side tip down carry. And this is a knife that has excellent ergonomics, right? A lot of people love the handling of this knife. It's certainly got plenty of real estate in the handle. I've got all kinds of room to choke up or to choke back. But there are a few things about this knife that people don't love, and we'll get to those in a minute. So we've got a very old military, a sort of standard military, which you can still find. There have been some exclusives and sprint runs and things like that. Here's one from St. Nick's Knives. This is in CPM 4V, which is a very tough steel with great edge retention, but it is not stainless. Okay, and this has a black coated blade. Again, it's a liner lock. I like that the hardware is all blacked out. The liner, the offsets, the pocket clip, everything is blacked out. And we get this St. Nick's red color G10, which they've used on other exclusives. 4V is a super steel. A lot of people would prefer 4V to S30V, even though 4V is not stainless. It is going to outperform S30V in most ways. Arguably, the ultimate iteration of the military was this frame lock. It says what Spyderco calls the Reeve Integral Lock, right, named after Chris Reeve, who developed the frame lock. A lot more surface area here in the lockup on this guy. This is in S30V, full titanium handles, and a frame lock. And yes, this is not just aftermarket titanium handles. Spyderco made them this way. This is the handles that it came with. This may be my favorite version of the military. Yeah, S30V is not the most exotic steel, but it's a very good steel. And I really like the frame lock on this. The action on it is excellent, and the lockup is strong, and I really don't have much to complain about, except for the things that everybody always complains about with the military model, which is that it's got a single position pocket clip, and people don't love the liner lock mechanism, but this overcomes that by providing a frame lock instead. But I suppose a lot of people are going to be saying that the new CruWear Military 2 is sort of the ultimate evolution of the military line. I would disagree. Well, I may be a little premature in saying I disagree. My initial impressions of this knife don't bump the frame lock version of the military out of my favorite spot, but with some further use, perhaps I'll come around to have even more positive feelings about this this version in CruWear. I do like it. Full flat grind, 4-inch blade, CPM CruWear, good jimping both down here and up here. You can see the jimping on the original version had this sort of deep, it had just a few deep jimps on the back of the spine and on the sort of thumb ramp here, but nothing on the where the index finger goes. This has it both above and below the blade. The full liners mean that this is a little bit more substantial and a little bit heavier knife than the standard version of the military, or of the Military 2 for that matter. Well, that's a first look. I will put this knife through some paces, and I will have more to say about it later. But If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll see a lot more Spyderco knives, as well as knives of other brands. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.